How's it going, everybody? 1 Corinthians 11, 8 through 20. For the first man didn't come from the woman, but the first woman came from a man. And a man was not made for a woman, but woman was made for man. For this reason, and because the angels are watching, a woman should wear a covering on her head and show she is under authority. But among the Lord's people, women are not independent of men, and men are not independent of women. For although the first woman came from a man, every other man was born from a woman, and everything comes from God. Judge for yourselves. Is it right for a woman to pray to God in public without covering her head? Isn't it obvious that it is disgraceful for a man to have long hair? And isn't long hair a woman's pride and joy? For it has been given to her as a covering. But if anyone wants to argue about this, I simply say that we have no other custom than this, and neither do God's other churches. I don't have any more to say on any of that. That is what's written. I read it. Let God be true and every man a liar. Take things like that to prayer. You know, today, if a woman goes out in public to pray, it says she should have her head covered. I don't know what else to tell you. You know, order at the Lord's Supper. But in the following instructions, I cannot praise you, for it sounds as if more harm than good is done when you meet together. For I hear that there are divisions among you when you meet as a church, and to some extent, I believe it. But of course, there must be divisions among you so that you who have God's approval will be recognized. Ooh, I like that. In other words, the sheep would be arguing with the goats or the lost sheep who are not in truth. When you meet together, you are not really interested in the Lord's Supper. Do you have to keep the Lord's Supper today as a ritual as part of your salvational process? No, absolutely not. But these are things that they did back then in the early church, along with all the special powers they had also that we don't have today. For there must be also heresies among you, that they which are approved may be made manifest among you. When you come together, therefore, into one place, this is not to eat the Lord's Supper. Hey, yeah, I'm glad we read both. Corinthians, oh, excuse me. 1 Corinthians is very tough. There's a lot of little nuggets among a lot of things that are just very, it's just good to read, but it's very difficult also. So we're going to continue on in Daniel. Neither have we hearkened unto thy servants, the prophets, which spake. Remember, this is Daniel's lamentation we talked about yesterday. Spake unto thy name of our kings, our princes, and our fathers, and to all the people of the land. O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of the faces, as at this day, to the men of Judah, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and unto all Israel that are near and that are far off. Through all countries, whither thou hast driven them, because of their trespasses, that they have trespassed against thee. O Lord, to us belongeth confusion of face, to our kings, to our princes, and to our fathers, because we have sinned against thee. To the Lord our God belong mercies and forgivenesses, though we have rebelled against him. Neither Now he's praying to God, but he just spoke about God in the third person. So it's very tricky the way this always goes back and forth like this. At least in the book of Daniel that I've noticed. Even when Nebuchadnezzar was telling about his salvation, he referred to himself in the third person. You know, when the Lord humbled him and brought him through the salvational process, I should say. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord our God to walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants, the prophets. Yea, all Israel has transgressed the law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him. And he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem. I love you very much. Ask questions anytime. That's what I'm here for.